Thank you, Anson. You may proceed. Yep. Thank you.
Thanks, Alex. Thanks, everyone. Okay, we'll start. Okay, I think this one always we want to have an update. Despite we all know how hot the market is. We still want to pose that question. Hey, how has the property market been faring so far? So do share your thoughts on it. Hot, cold, warm, very hot. Just type it in the chat group. I think we all know where the market is heading. Okay, but me personally, I have been in the market for quite a long time. Market to me, it's not hot, it's smoking hot. It's really, you see that kind of, you can call it pent-up demand, the interest level is there, which I think is a good thing for us. We are working in an industry that is often relatively cyclical. So I think this is definitely on the uptrend for us. So I think everybody here, we should be riding this trend as long as we can. Okay, but my personal view, and I think I'll share the statistics later, we can safely say that the market is very bullish now, and it's on a very uptrend as well. Okay, so this is not only pertaining to Singapore itself. If you look at across the globe, major countries, New Zealand, USA, Canada, Australia, Hong Kong, despite COVID, I think COVID is sort of already, it's still there, but everybody has sort of moved on from there as well. So you can see that, investors are all coming back in, like we mentioned in some of our earlier briefings, people understand the need for a bigger home. They want more space. That's why you see the resale market going up as well. So I think property, working from home is a new norm nowadays. Okay, despite the government opening up for people to go back to offices to work, I think there's a lot of places where they are still going with a work from home arrangement, and I think this is going to stay as well. So this actually led to demand in prices. But I think in general, when we talk about the global property market, prices have gone up. Coming back a bit to our own Singapore market, I think property prices have also increased in all segments. Okay, we are not targeting one particular segment, like for example, HDB gone up, private is still quiet, and so on. It's actually across the board. So HDB resale, private homes, be it brand new launches or resale condo, landed, everything has been seeing very strong demand. So again, I think this is very positive for the market. And if you look at the property prices in all segments, you can see that it has all gone up, especially even for HDB, which I wanted to highlight a little bit, because HDB has been the laggard for quite a number of years, while the private market has been going up. But you look at the HDB prices now, it has also gone up as well. So this is really a very broad-based kind of recovery. And of course, new launches, I think one thing is that the supply have gone down. If you are looking at areas like your OCR, RCL, actually, if you're in the market, you know that there's not too many stock left. Even the CCL, I think stock is going fast. 2,000 plus PSF, 3,000 plus PFS, I think is something that people have already accepted. If you go back 1 year, 2 years now, prior, I think even all of us here will say, wow, 2,000 PSF, like very high. But now, honestly, what can you get for 2,000 plus PFS? This is basically the norm. So this also reflects in the market. Resale prices have always been lagging from the new launches, and now you see it picking up as well. It's a 10-year high. It's not even a small increase. So you can see that the market is very buoyant. Okay, so this is just to share a little bit of statistics. So in terms of the last 11 quarters, okay, you can see more ups and downs. And of course, this is the price index as well. So again, it's a very obvious uptrend. So the next question is, will the market still continue this uptrend? Okay, so we come into a bit about the CCR, because Park Nova is a CCR project. So let's narrow down and see what's happening in the CCR new launch sector. Okay, high-end condo sales have surged. Okay, in March, the new home numbers have already doubled. And if you look at the transactions, the most transactions is actually the CCR region. It's an 8-year high, 500 over units. But the key thing, what I wanted to highlight over here is actually the new sales caveat in March itself. And you can see that, we have 16 new sales caveats from 5 million all the way to 14 million, and most of the transactions in CCR. Okay, I'll touch a little bit on this later. Okay, but I think the general takeaway I want you to consider is that, you know, everybody say, hey, they want to buy cheap quantum units, low quantum units, more affordable, and so on. But if you look at this new sales caveat with this price point, that means the wealthy, the very affluent, the high net worth individuals are actually coming to the market as well. So it's not only like entry level CCR kind of properties, but your big ticket items, the more savvy, you can say, you know, much high net worth people are coming as well. So that tells you that, you know, it's not only the mass, so-called the inverted comma, the masses are buying. So this is food for thought for you. Okay. So if you look at Midtown Modern, I think this sales was exceptionally well. If you were with us at Mountbatten during the launch, you know that the units really sell like hotcakes. Just to share with you, this was the elevation chart after the booking day. You can see, you know, over 60% is sold. The 1 and 2 bedrooms almost all sold. But interestingly, the 5-bedroom penthouse was also sold for 14.83 million at 4,002 PSF. And remember, this is a 99-year development. Okay, very exciting story over there. But somebody actually paid for $14 million at 4,000 plus PSF at Midtown Modern. Okay, 𝗟𝗏𝘁 Hill. Okay, this was just recently concluded. This was by CDL. Again, I think very robust sales as well. They sold more than half of their units just on the launch weekend, and their 4-bedroom penthouse was also sold for over 9 million at 4,000 plus PSF. Generally, this development, the PSF was about 2.7, 2.8 kind. So the premium units, they actually put they set a higher price point for it, but again, there's still takers, and bear this in mind. This is also a 99-year leasehold development, and they sold at 4,000 plus PSF. Okay. 𝗂𝗏 herself, our IC, actually also invested something in CCL. I think that definitely she, if she knew that Park Nova, you know, there was a choice unit for her, she might have went for that. But in the end, we are very happy for her. You know, I think she has been involved in D9, D10 for the longest time, and you know, she herself is also an investor now. Okay. Of course, this not only talking about individual sales. Now, even this end of the market, you got super bulk deal. Okay, no, this is really I would say mother of all bulk deals. Normally we talk about bulk deals, 2 units, 3 units kind of thing. This one is one Taiwanese family, the 1-1 group. They bought the whole development for 293 million. Okay. Even with bulk discount and what's not, the price actually which they paid for was 4,800 PSF. And this development, all the units are big. It's 4 beders. There's only one type basically, 4 beders at 3,035 square feet. And remember, this is an overseas group, so they actually have to pay ABSD on top of that. So their working price, maybe by the time they work out all the numbers and all those things, it might be close to 5,000 plus to 6,000 PSF. Okay, so why is the property market so hot? Our own guess. Okay, this is some of my own opinion. Of course, there is 101 reasons why the market is so hot, but I think personally, I feel these are some of the more key reasons affecting this end of the market. I think low interest rates definitely are boosting the housing market. It's probably as cheap as you can get, you know, with interest rates so low to take a loan if you're eligible for it. Okay, in terms of the property market. And of course, I think for the ultra rich, one reason again why we are seeing all these big ticket items being moved as well. So you have the probably more of the local demand, you know, entry level kind of CCR properties, lower quantum, but the big quantum, big ticket items are also moving as well, because the ultra rich is actually picking Singapore as their top pick in the region. Okay, if you look at it objectively in this area, I mean, you know that a lot of clients come from Indonesia, Chinese, if they are from the overseas market. So if they're coming into this particular region, the best place to be is probably Singapore. Like for Chinese, I think they really have their properties in Hong Kong. Okay, so they might not want more exposure there, but as a secondary home or as a new home office, that kind, you know, I think Singapore is the next best place to be. Same thing for the Indonesians as well. If they want to have an alternative to park their money elsewhere, I think Singapore has always traditionally been a haven for them as well. Okay. FOMO. Personally, I feel that there might be some elements of either you can say it's a FOMO or people thinking ahead, because as the property market goes up, the prices is more buoyant and now it's spread across the different segments. There is a possibility, that there might be some cooling measures, some some guidelines, to make it more sustainable, or to curb the sentiment a little bit. That is possible. So be it which camp you are at, okay, I think that also contributes to people deciding, hey, I think let's go into the market now, let's buy something, before some the guidelines change, then it so-called affects our purchase. Okay, I think that is probably a key factor as well. So we come back to Park Nova. So okay, Park Nova, I think it's a very unique proposition, okay, in terms of product and so on. So I think we just want to share with you, based on our own data, we have done projects in this end of the market as well. What kind of target market that you can be expecting? I think the answer maybe you might have an idea what kind of clientele that you should be looking at, but it's good to have some statistics and data to substantiate your thought process as well. And I think also what type of units do they prefer. Yeah, I think we have compared a few projects. So the first one is actually 3 Orchard by the Park. 3 Orchard by the Park, I think each development, while I go through, just to give you a bit of a summary, most, I would say at least is still good 50-60% generally is still taken up by Singaporeans. So I think that is a given, okay, but it's that additional segment of the market which I think we should be actively targeting that as well. If you have your own clientele in your, for example, you look at 3 Orchard by the Park, you have your Chinese buyers, your Indonesian buyers, they actually form close to 40% of the buyers based on ERA data. So I think this is quite a significant portion as well. And if you look at the unit types, generally the garden suites, the penthouse, those big units, right, they are normally taken out. This is a trend that we see. Okay, I think this category of buyers, when they come to this end of the market, they want something sizable. Okay, they are not here so much to buy your entry level 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom. They are really in a different category when it comes to wealth, buying power and all those things. So they want to go for something which they think is the best. Okay, so if you can see the sizes and take up rate, generally they are more skewed to the larger units. Okay. Same thing for Boulevard 88. Boulevard 88, I think this is a bit more diverse. But if you look at their unit type, they have 2 bedrooms starting from 1,003. You still have about 60% left. But their biggest unit, the 4-bedroom, actually all fully sold already. Same for the penthouse, 4 units, all fully sold. And look at their sizes. So again, this substantiates our data and probably our understanding of the market that this category people go for the bigger units. Look at Novel 18, same trend. Okay, but this one you can see is significantly more Chinese buyers. And Nassim, I think a bit more diverse. But again, if you look at their unit type, they didn't have small units, they were all big units. And when they were selling at that time, the prices were probably at a premium as well. And still, it was all fully sold. Okay, so if you look at what we have shared so far, you know that generally, I would say the 2 broad categories will still be your Chinese and your Indonesians. Okay, so I think this is important to take note, because you know that now for travel, right, we cannot travel everywhere. People cannot come in. Okay, so there is this group of buyers who is out there, and they are still buying based on, through Zoom, through floor plans and so on, because you see the high-end market, they are still moving. They are not in Singapore, but all the recent new launches, the purchasers for the big units, you still see those Chinese clients, Indonesian clients coming in. So what happens when, now everybody is getting vaccination, okay, be it in their own countries, in Singapore, once borders will have to open up, okay, it's a matter of time, be it 6 months, 9 months down the road, or hopefully we can do it earlier. So once you get that group of buyers coming in, you will really see an influx of, interest and monies coming into this end of the market. Okay, and this is when we open the borders. Even without it, you can already see that there is still strong interest in Singapore properties as well. Okay, so this one I wanted to share because if you are talking about MNCs and so on. I think now Tencent, Alibaba Group, all these are very familiar names to people. So they are already setting up a lot of their offices, expanding, setting up new offices in Singapore. So food for thought, those management level executives, where would they stay? I mean, they are normally still foreigner, Chinese nationals and so on. So when they come here, either their housing options is only either A, to rent a landed, for example, or they go and buy something, they invest something on their own. They want the most prime, they want luxury, they want size. Okay, so again, I think Park Nova fits well into this category for this group of buyers. And this is something that was very recent. The article was from yesterday. You can see that, you know, they mentioned that it's a group of Fujian buyers in China who have been buying up a lot of Singapore properties as well. So despite pandemic and circuit breaker, okay, they actually saw an increase in transactions. This is in the Sentosa area. Okay, not 100% relevant, but I wanted to share with you that there is a group, you know, there is a lot of interest in Singapore property. So this is just one category. But again, like I say, this group from Fujian, they might have people who are looking at condominium units as well. They do not need to buy a landed per se. So you can see, you know, a lot of buyers coming into the market, despite all the you know, travel, you know, restrictions and so on. And of course, you know, look at this type of price. I think this end of the market, when people buy something, right, they don't really care what. Okay, this type of prices, 𝗏𝗡 4,000 PSF or GCB, you know, it's very rare. It's hard to find something like that in the market. But when you are a billionaire, when you just buy something, 128 billion is just a number, you know. So to me, no price is too expensive for the super rich. So for this category of people, it's not so much, hey, do you have ABSD? Will I be able to take a loan? That kind of thing. All this is not relevant to them, put it that way. Okay, relevant to people like us or people like me. Okay, but for this category is, I like it, I will get it. Okay, so don't need to tell me about upside, that kind of thing. To them, not important. Most important, they must like it. Then they will buy. So regardless of the price in that sense, okay, as long as they like it. So your potential now target market, I think this one we have already highlighted, so I won't go through. Okay, so just to share a little bit, what are the property prices in Orchard RiverValley area? This again is for us to share with you, so that you know, in case you're still thinking, hey, you know, is prices too high? What are the prices? Are these prices like 3,000 plus 4,000 PSF? Is it like very high for this location? Actually, think again. Okay, you know that in Orchard, I think what we have done is we have narrowed down to different categories. We are, you know, CCR is very broad, but I think for our development, okay, we try to get closer comparable. So if you look at just for RiverValley alone, okay, in terms of the PSF, you are probably max PSF, you're talking about 3,000 plus 3.3 for Avenue, 3.7, and the 8-9 million, that kind is quite common. It's all probably the bigger, larger units as well. All these are transacted prices. If you go to Cuscaden area, Orchard Boulevard, look at the max quantum. They have sold their unit, the penthouses, at 31 million, 32 million, PSF 4,000, 5,000. Okay, and their average price is already about 3.6, 3.7. So again, for this locality, this type of prices are the norm. Okay, big quantums, big PSF. So don't think 4,000 plus 5,000. Wow, like nobody buy one kind of price. No, this is actually the norm for this location. Okay, same thing. Ardmore, Draycott, and 𝗏𝗡. Look at the quantums, the PSF. This one you can use it as a reference point when we send out the slides to you. But again, I just want to draw to your attention. Look at the quantum. Look at the PSF. You get 3,009, 4,000 plus for the prices. So again, I think this is a norm. So in a nutshell, 3,005 to 5,000 PSF to me is really the norm for this locality. Okay, if you are still expecting, wow, this is it very expensive? No, this is actually market price for this. And I think for Park Nova, and even if you look generally across the board in this locality, people normally prefer bigger unit types. Smaller units, they will still sell. End of the day, it still will be fully sold. But generally, your take-up rate will be the bigger units first, then you trickle down to the smaller units. So bigger quantums for these units are common as well, because naturally your size, you have a size, you have your certain PSF, your quantum will be big. But again, this is the norm. So we shouldn't be using the normal kind of calculation for this location, like, oh, like 2,000 PF, 3,000. It's really, they're not in the market if you use that kind of comparison. Okay. Before I pass on to Alex and Sun, I think most importantly, whatever I told you, just remember, okay? For the rich people, what are their superpowers again? Their superpower is they are rich. Okay. I don't know why the GIF not moving, but if you watch Justice League, this was a question posed to Batman. Batman, you all know, no superpowers one. His best superpower is he's a billionaire. So same thing for the rich people. I think normal rules don't apply to them. Again, all your regulations, your upside, downside, that kind of thing, not so important for them. Most important, when they look at something, they must like it. They definitely can afford it. Okay, so I think, again, when you're doing your marketing or you're reaching out to your clients, you should have an idea which kind of clients actually fall into this category. I think they should be your main target market, be it they are Singaporeans or foreigners. Okay, so with that, I hope that you get some insights on the location. I'll pass on to Sun first to touch a little bit on the development project details, like the developer and the architect. Sun?
Yep, okay. Thanks, Anson. Okay, morning everybody. My part will cover a little bit on the developer as well as the consultants involved. So I think Anson's part has covered the market overview. After this, I'll hand over to Alex, who will cover on the project. Right. So this part, the whole purpose of this segment is actually to draw your attention to the consultants involved. Right. You will notice a trend that these are all consultants and players who are actually international players, or they focus very much on the luxury market. So I will start first with the developer, right? Okay, so for those of y'all who have already seen our information or familiar with the development, you will know that this is developed by Shun Holdings. Okay, so Shun Holdings, their businesses are not just limited to property or real estate development. It actually spans many segments, right? So from property to hospitality, transportation, as well as investments. For real estate, they have over 60 years of experience, and in recent years, they have been very big in moving and expanding into top-tier Chinese cities, right? Of course, Shun is a very well-known company. I think one of the reasons why is the family that's behind the company, right? So the family behind the company, of course, all this was started out by the late Stanley Ho. I think those of you all who I think anybody of a certain age would know Stanley Ho, right? I think he's definitely one of the legendary businessmen in Asia. His businesses are in Hong Kong and Macau, and he has been nicknamed as the godfather or even the king of gambling because of his monopoly in the Macau casino scene for almost 75 years, right? So of course, apart from the casino business, which he's most famous for, he's also known for his other businesses, which I mentioned earlier, entertainment, tourism, shipping, real estate, banking, and even air transport, right? Even his businesses, although he's more associated with Hong Kong, Macau, he has expanded his business empire to China, Portugal, even North Korea, Vietnam, Philippines, Mozambique, Indonesia, and East Timor. Okay, at one time, I think his businesses, it was estimated that he actually employed almost a quarter of Macau's workforce. So in terms of his profile as a businessman, I think he's definitely right up there. And of course, his net worth was estimated to be about $2.5 billion, right? Also, currently, after Stanley Ho's passing, the company is now run by his daughter, Stanley Ho, who is the group executive chairman. And she's also the co-chairman of MGM China. So I think the casino business, the luxury business is very much in their DNA. They have been doing this for, close to a century. They deal with the richest people in the world. They run some of the biggest casinos in the world. And also, even for her own home, she owns one of the most expensive homes sold in Asia. In Hong Kong, the peak value about 900 million Hong Kong dollars, right? So that's, I touched mostly about, Hong Kong, Macau, as well as other countries. So Shun Tak actually entered Singapore, right? Sometime around 2016. So you will notice also a trend that they focus very much on the prime districts, right? Our ultra prime property segment. So one of their first investments that they made is that they bought over 111 Somerset. Okay, this is along the Orchard Road belt. It's a commercial development with shops, offices, as well as medical suites. Okay, apart from this, one of the first land for redevelopment that they bought was 9 Cascaden Road. Okay, this is a hotel development that's being constructed now. If you look at the price, this is probably one of the record prices, right? 5,634 PSF, right? So this is currently being redeveloped. This 25,000 square foot plot is being redeveloped. And this is the hotel that is being built, Artisan Cascaden, Singapore. So it's a 5-star hotel, Cascaden Road. This is really the prime spot in Singapore. Okay. Another plot that they are currently developing, formerly bungalow at 14 and 14A Nassim Road. This was transacted at over 2007 PSF per plot ratio. Total land size about 66,000 square feet. This is, Nassim Road, I think, is the most expensive spot on the monopoly Singapore board. So I think this is definitely, you can see that they are really, really going big into the most prime districts. This is the upcoming development, Les Maisons Nassim. So you can see from the development, everything is very lush. And I think you will see a similar trend for Park Nova as later on when Alex takes over. Okay, I'll just quickly run through this. These are some of the other development portfolio for Shun Tak, right? You can see that they cover, major China cities, Guangzhou, Tianjin, Macau. If you also pay attention, you notice the usage of the branding Nova, right? I think there's a few that they use, Nova City, Nova Grand. So I think this is one of the Shun Tak's branding. Of course, you're familiar with Hong Kong and Hong Kong developments. Generally, they have this very dense appearance, right? But rest assured, even though these look, very dense, these are numerous Nova branded developments are actually very luxurious in the Hong Kong market. Okay. So some of the notable developments from Shun Tak include One Central. You can see very clearly this is a waterfront development, 7 luxury towers, and of course you have a 5-star Mandarin Oriental hotel as well as service apartments. Okay, Nova City. This is one of the largest luxury developments in Macau. You also have a retail podium, right, which is 650,000 square feet, which is a very big development. Okay, this is one of the older developments that they have, but I think even for its age, it still commands a good value. Sorry, a very strong price in the market. It's called the 𝗿𝗫𝗁, one of the private residential estates. All these developments, in Hong Kong, you have the view of the harbour. It's actually very, very spectacular. So these are the developments that Shun Tak have built over the years, and you can see that their target is really, they really go for quality, luxury. This is another one. This is in a different part of Hong Kong, in Kowloon, also integrated with, this is all upscale developments, okay? This one as well, you can see they also partner up with some of the leading Hong Kong developers to build Chatham Gate, okay? Also in Kowloon district, luxury units with access to a private sky clubhouse. Also, you have views of the harbour. You can see from the pictures, this is a bit different from the typical Hong Kong development. You can see the luxury, you can see the clubhouse. Okay. So that segment was a bit about the developer. I think we also want to talk about the design. And of course, that brings me to the architects, right? So for this development, we have PLP Architecture, which is a design architect, as well as P&T consultants, which are the project architects. So I'll focus a little bit more about on the design architects, which is PLP, right? So just a brief introduction. PLP is a London-based architecture studio, right? They are not just doing the normal architecture and engineering. They also have a design and research team. So I think they have a lot of emphasis on, green living, smart living, things like that, which I think you will see a little bit in the design of this development. Okay, so not only do they do architecture, they also do master planning. And I think most importantly, if you look at my third point, I think they focus a lot on this term which they call contextual sensitivity. So in their developments, the design, they draw a lot of inspiration from the local history, culture, as well as the surroundings of that particular development. Okay, some of the key projects, right? This one is, I'll quickly run through this, right? This is 22 Bishopsgate. This is the tallest tower currently undergoing construction in the heart of London's financial district. So you can see they focus a lot about amenities, wellness, and the overall theme for this development is a vertical village. I mean, if you are interested, you can actually read up a little bit more on their website. I'll just move on to the next one. Sky, I'm sure most of you all, if you have seen Sky News, this is one of the biggest international broadcasters. Their headquarters was also done by PLP. Okay, this is Deloitte's headquarters in Amsterdam, in the Netherlands. So the Edge, they call it one of the greenest and most intelligent buildings in the world, right? They didn't really explain why, but this is one of the focuses of this architect, where they really go into making things green. I think you look at the design of the office, this is not your typical CBD office. It's much more like your Google or Facebook, that kind of campus style design office. Okay, this one you can see is a little bit more traditional, Chiltern Place. This is a luxury development, one of the most historic neighborhoods in London. So you can see they also do their share of luxury residential, not just commercial. This one as well, First Pan Pacific Hotel, 1 Bishopsgate Plaza, integrated with a luxury private residences. So also historic area. These are all very prime spots in London. So I mean, this kind of development, you can see that this architect is really world-class if they are the ones who are tasked to actually design and build these buildings. Okay, of course, out of Europe, you also have this Four Seasons Hotel in Abu Dhabi, which is located right next to the stock exchange. So you can see it's waterfront. These are definitely, 5-star hotel, world-class standard. I think the design and everything is very iconic. Okay, so coming back to the project architect, which is more like in layman terms, a local architect, it's a P&T consultants. I think those of you who have done a lot of projects, you will see this company quite often, right? It's actually an international company, but of course in every country they have their local office. And I think what is really quite something is the history of this firm. It dates back to 1868. Of course, it was almost 100 years later before they set up the Singapore office, but even then they have quite a long history. And I think many of the developments in Singapore, certain parts of our skyline have actually been shaped by one of the key players is actually P&T. More notably, recently they have done certain prime district developments, luxury developments like 15 Holland Hill, as well as Grange 1866. You also have the mixed development in the Bugis District 7 area, the M. Okay, so if you want, you can read a little bit more, but I think just want to show you that, they date back very long, and also they are very well-versed in both, basically all kinds of developments from luxury to mixed developments. Okay, landscape, I think, plays a very important part in Park Nova. I think if you've seen the perspectives, you notice, first of all, you have the vertical garden, which is the balconies with lush landscaping, as well as the ground, level 1, the common facilities landscape is all very lush. So ICN Design did the landscape architecture. And of course, this is an award-winning landscape architectural firm. Okay, if you just look at the photos on the right, these are probably some of the most iconic buildings in Singapore, ranging from private developments, be it your integrated South Beach, Marina One, where you have offices, hotels, and very luxurious residential units, to the even public or government and historic buildings, right? So you have Raffles Hotel, the National Gallery, as well as Jewel at Changi. They have done a lot more. These are some of the more iconic ones. So in terms of landscape, the landscaping that you will have in Park Nova, done by the same people that have done these very, very iconic developments in Singapore. Okay. So the last consultant that we're going to talk about is the interior design and architecture, which is the Bruin Design Office. Okay, so the ID inside, even some of the choice of materials in the interior space, I think Bruin was the consultants who actually advised them. Okay, so this is actually a Singapore-based studio. They specialize in ID, obviously, and also their works have been widely published, internationally. I think I want to draw your attention to the projects that they have done. Eden, which is the one that Anson talked about, they did the ID for that development. Le Nouvel Art Mall, as well as the museum library. If you can see the third picture, this is in the National Gallery, which is a historic building. So you can see that the interiors that they do is not just for luxury residential, even historic buildings also. I think they have the expertise and that sensitivity. So, after sharing with you guys about the developer, the architects, the landscape design, as well as interior, I think the common theme that you see is that all these players are really some of the best there is to offer. So I think this really sets the tone for what you can expect when you see Park Nova, the actual development, which Alex, I will hand over to him to share a bit more on the project details, the specifics. So Alex. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, yeah, thanks, Shun. Let me just give me a second. Let me just check out my slides. You guys can see my slides, right? Can, Okay, good. Okay, thanks, Shun and Anson, for sharing. So I think I'll just try my level best to share with you, the story behind Park Nova, and also, the excitement when I look at this project, and some of the selling points for you guys to take note. Okay, so basically for Park Nova, when the developer came to us, I think it was very exciting because we all know about, it was actually a en bloc from Park House in 2018. Okay, so that time round, they en bloc for 2,009 per square foot, which was on the high side, we were all taken by surprise. Why would developers pay such a price? But I think because we're always using our normal, frame of thought, why would someone pay such a price? But I think if we were in their shoes, we try to be in their shoes, I think they are really, really forward looking. Okay, even at these kind of prices, when they came out with Park Nova, it really, really impressed me. And I just felt this is really just the beginning. Okay, just the beginning. Why? So this time round, Park House is going to be en bloc and it's going to redevelop into this new project called Park Nova. Okay, so Park still represents the nature around, and also Nova, okay, which represents the brighter star, and also a new star. So a new dawn, okay, a dawn of a new urban living. So to me, when we compare to projects overseas, in terms of pricing, I just felt Singapore is still, very much undervalued in terms of its prime luxury, what we call homes, right? Because we're always talking about 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, even on the historical high in Singapore, we only hit like 6,000 plus per square foot. But when we look at places like London, like Hong Kong, they are crossing 10,000 per square foot. So I just felt in Singapore, we are probably just beginning to enter this, wealthy luxury, market, in terms of the world. Okay, so that's why for Suntag themselves, they actually pride themselves. They have dedicated their business towards hospitality and tourism. So they basically know what the rich and affluent, the wealthy wants. Okay, they really kind of understand what they want. Okay, so this project, as you can see, okay, it's 21 stories. It basically looks like a vertical garden. Okay, so it basically looks like a vertical garden, even with its second floor elevated, by around 17 meters. And of course, they have a 14th floor, what we call a sky terrace. Okay, I'm going to go into the details shortly. Now, in terms of location, for those who are still not familiar, okay, just to share with you, so Park Nova, it's right in the heart of Orchard on District 10. So it's along, the address is on 18 Tomlinson Road. Okay, so it's on Tomlinson Road. Of course, for those who are familiar, it's right next to Cascadian Reserve, Orchard by the Park, and of course, on the similar stretch, we do have a Boulevard 88. Okay, so it's just next to Camden Medical, the Tanglin Mall area, right? Tanglin Shopping Center, and just a short walk, probably like 700 over meters, you'll probably reach Wheelock and Orchard Ion already. Okay, so this is as prime, as near as you can get, in terms of Singapore, prime district Orchard Road already. Okay, so Park Nova, again, just want to highlight to you, is in between the two most active, what we call MRTs, right? Orchard MRT, as we all know it, and also the Orchard Boulevard. So this is right next to MRT. To me, it's only like a short 200 meters walk, okay, less than 3 minutes walk. So this MRT station will be ready probably next year. Okay, next year it'll be ready. Now you can take a look, it's already constructed to the roof if you're lucky, but I still felt next year it'll be ready. Okay, so from there, it's only a 200 meters walk, and towards Orchard, okay, 700 meters. So we are in between the action for Orchard Road itself, and ultimately it's still a freehold. So this is a freehold project, and its status is still under a condominium status, not an apartment status. So we've just double checked if the developer is under a condominium status. So Orchard itself, of course, I believe you guys have probably known and heard from URA, the new vision of Orchard Road, right? So they should break up Orchard Road into 4 different parts: Tanglin itself, Orchard, Somerset, and Dhoby Ghaut. But I think this time around, we just talk a little bit on Tanglin and Orchard, because we are more towards the Tanglin side, whereby it's going to be more like a mixed-use arts, cultural, kind of location. And of course, Orchard will be all your luxury and flagship stores. Okay, so this is how they're going to break up and develop Orchard itself. So for Tanglin, for those who have seen all these are like the two-door houses, So behind all this, they're going to use it for a lot of arts, cultural offerings, right? Maybe after the pandemic, all this place will be very, very vibrant. And it's just like another 100 over meters away from Park Nova itself. Okay? So it's just, we're within the same area itself. And for the Orchard interchange, for those who have been there, you'll see that now currently there's a part that's under construction. Okay, so now next year it'll be ready. So all this kind of livelihood will come back again, and you can have gardens, you have sky bridges. You guys, I believe you've been to like Thailand, right? You always walk Bangkok. Those sky bridges. Singapore is going to also have those kind of sky bridges where they can actually use all this as elevated link bridge, where you can have your selfies, your Instagram. So all this hype is coming back, into Singapore already. Okay, it's just the pandemic slowing all these things down. But I think whatever the government has committed, they will definitely deliver. Okay, so this is something that we have a lot of confidence in. Okay, so you can see a lot of a place for them to walk. And of course, in terms of the project info, I'm going to highlight the important ones. So the address is on 18 Tomlinson Road. It's a freehold on District 10. So for those, I've seen some advertisements. If you put District 9, please amend them. It's on District 10. Okay, the site area, approximately 43,000 square feet. Okay, TOP, a lot of people also text you, where's the TOP? TOP will be relatively fast. So this would be second quarter 2023. So on average, it's like 2 years down the road. Okay, 2 years, we probably be getting the TOP ready already. Okay, and of course, the architects, all this we mentioned before, so I'm not going to go into the details. Okay, a total of 54 units. Very easy to remember because the smallest unit we have is already 2+ study. Okay, and we have another stack which is 3+ study, and then another stack 4 bedrooms. Okay, so 2+ studies, 3+ studies, and 4 room. Okay, and of course we have 3 penthouses. Okay, car park lots are 1:1. Okay, with all private lifts. This one I'll go into the details later at the floor plan. Okay, cabinetry, I'll go into the details later. There's 3 electrical charging stations. Okay, for those who want to know whether can charge their cars or not, I mean, there's 3. Okay, so this is the breakdown. Okay, the smallest size we have is 1/4 1,432 square feet for the 2+ study. Okay, 1,432 square feet for a 2+ study. So it's a really humongous. And the 3 rooms, okay, is starting from a 2,207. Okay, 2,207 square feet for a 3+ study. So it's above 2,000 square feet here. And the 4 rooms, okay, we have 2 sizes from 2,895 and mostly will be 2,906 square feet. So it's around near to 3,000. So it's 2,009 over square feet. So we are waiting for the detailed plans on where are the differences, but mainly layout-wise, approximately the same. There are only changes. I mean, the only differences probably is in the balcony space. So overall layout, it's the same. Penthouses, I know we have a lot of inquiries, but we just want to set some expectations right as well. These penthouses are very, very rare. Okay, they're 3,000 square feet to 5,000 square feet. They will all be duplex. Okay, this is what we know. It will all be duplex. Okay, but the thing is this, because of their, this developer themselves, you never know. Maybe they already have friends and, reserve for their own friends. So I just want to set your expectation right. If it's open to the market, good. I also hope it will be open. But, they may even sell to friends or even their own family members may buy it. Okay, so we still focus more onto the 2 rooms, 2+ study, 3+ studies, and also the 4 bedrooms. Okay, the floor plans are not out yet for the penthouses. When in due course, when it's out, immediately we will send to you guys. Okay, so we don't have it at the moment. Okay, so from a 2nd floor all the way to a 21st story, because it's a duplex. Okay, so it's very easy to remember. Only 3 stacks. So stack 1, it will be the 4 bedrooms. It comes with private lifts. So all units comes with private lifts. So they don't have the 14th floor. Just take note. Okay, so stack 1 is the 4 bedrooms. The stack 2 is the 2+ study. Okay, the stack 3 will be the 3+ study. So it's pretty easy to remember. Okay, and of course, for the penthouses, the developer did mention, all their kitchens, will be using Armani Dada collection from Bottini, kitchens. Okay, so all these kitchens are all, very designer, imported Italian kitchens, cabinetry. Okay, so in terms of the site plan, okay, you guys may have it. You may want to zoom in a little bit, when you have it. Okay, so it comes with facilities like 25 meters lap pool. Okay, it's a little bit, the shape is a little bit off. So it's like 25 meters by 7 meters to around 11 meters. Not to worry about the specifications because it's already in your Q&A. Okay, so it's around 25 meters. Of course, you do have your poolside lounge. You have your, what we call this, garden pavilion, where they can rest around. Okay, this is the level 1 of it. They have 2 side entrances, one on Tomlinson, the other one towards Orchard Boulevard, towards the MRT. Okay, so you do have 2 side gates. In the front, you have some leisure pools. Okay, and they have a separate access for the rubbish refuge. Okay, so the bin center will be at this corner down here. So there will be another separate entrance for the refuge. If not, main entrance will be here, ingress. Okay, egress and ingress. So going down to basement 1 and also basement 2. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Okay, so on the left hand side, later I'm going to share with you, this is where Cascadian Reserve is. So this is the 1st floor plan. So all the genset substation is all towards the south direction with the substation on B1. Okay, so this is the 14th floor site plan. Okay, so the 14th level, it's all connected. So all the units are able to access the 14th floor, which you have the sky, garden. We call it the sky terrace, sky garden, the gyms, the lounge, and the bridge. Okay, so I'm going to show you some of the pictures. Okay, so from the top view, you will see this, in your illustration. So this is actually the vertical garden. So the story behind it is that, the principle of biophilic design. So meaning they want to combine, elements of nature and together with the occupants to enjoy, right? So they want to combine these 2 elements together, nature and also the people, the occupants that are staying inside, right? So with ventilation, the natural landscape, so this is the concept behind this development called Park Nova, right? Park meaning nature, Nova meaning a star of orchard. So this is what you'll be seeing, a lot of nature. Okay, this is all outside the development. Later I'll go to the floor plans, I will show you already. Okay, so vertical gardens, okay, it's signature biophilic greeneries that encompass, okay, sunlit terraces, natural ventilations, and you get panoramic views of the skyline from your bedroom itself. So this is how it looks like. Very nice. So every level is alternate. You can see the external facade. These are all the common areas. So every level, there will be a different plans for the exterior. Okay, so this is how it looks like. When you're on the first floor, we look up, you can see every level floor plate, it's a different design by itself. Okay, so this is on the 14th floor. Okay, we get lots of breathtaking views from here. Okay, so this is the 14th floor Sky Lounge. Fits 8 to 10 packs where you can have your private dining. Okay, we can sit outside the lounge area as well. So this is the Sky Lounge located on the 14th floor. And from the entrance, when you come in, you can actually again, feel the biophilic design, whereby you see nature, tree, and this very high 17 meters elevated grand entrance. Okay, where it's not dark and it's very lots of lights are able to go in. Okay, so this is the grand entrance that you can get at Park Nova. Okay, so again, another representation. Yeah, so the design is how it looks like. Okay, again, it's a very grand entrance. So even the second floor is already elevated above the tree lines. Okay, so even second floor is already, like example, maybe there are six floors already, right? So approximately 3 meters floor to ceiling height. So yeah, around second floor is already elevated by 6 to 7 meters. And because they are also in the hospitality business, okay, so this will be how it's a grand lobby, right? The entrance will look something like that, okay, with a marble clads, okay, and it also comes with concierge, okay. So this is how world class they're gonna be. So this is their waiting areas, okay, in the grand lobby. You can see individual pods, so everything again cladded with marble. Concierge details will update you because now we don't have the exact details. So from the swimming pool, a 25 meters lap pool. Okay, so this is how it looks like on the first floor. Okay, again, you don't get to, the units will not be able to see the pool. So you do get some privacy when you are doing your swimming. Okay, so all the units are all above. Okay, some hot jacuzzis. Okay, they do have a hot jacuzzi and also a pavilion for those who just want to relax, and enjoy the environment in the, in the development itself. Okay, so this is how the what we call the pavilion looks like, a stylish pavilion. Okay, a lot of artistry and greens and nature to surround. Okay, so they just want to encompass nature into this development. Okay, and also drop some plans. This is what I've drawn. So in terms of Park Nova, okay, the developer wants us to explain to you guys that the design of it, okay, pretty much looks like a butterfly. Okay, they mentioned this like 3-4 times, but I mentioned 1 or twice to you. Okay, so it looks like a butterfly layout. Okay, why do I say that? Okay, you can see, I'm not sure whether you can see now. Let me just switch it. So for this stack itself, okay, stack 1, it's actually facing, it's actually the 4 bedrooms. Okay, the 4 bedrooms, it actually has an unblocked view of the entire Orchard Boulevard all the way, to Orchard Ion. So this is an unblocked view. And then they have tilted, okay, the 3 rooms and the 2 rooms away from Cascadian Reserve. And again, the 3 rooms also get unblocked views all the way to Botanic Gardens. On the higher floors, you also can see the greens of Botanic Gardens, also all the way to Bukit Timah Hill. Okay, so you have very nice views for the 3 rooms. And for the 2 rooms, okay, it faces overlooking One Tree Hill, overlooking this Grange area. Okay, so all units have a view. Okay, and all their floor plates, as you can see, they are very big floor plates. Okay, and all the units do not have any common walls, like your neighbor is knocking on the wall, right? And then you will be able to hear it. So all the units, floor plates are individual. They do not have any common walls. So they call it the butterfly layout because this is like the head, and these are the 2 wings that spread. Okay, so this is how the developer wants us to, share with the clients. Okay, so this is Park Nova itself. So behind Cascadian Reserve, so you can see none of the units are actually directly facing Cascadian Reserve. And of course, moving on north, this is a Hana. This is a service apartment. So this is by Pontiac, I think. So this is another service apartment. So it's around 30 over meters away from Park Nova. So as you can see, we're pretty much unblocked. Okay, so whether you are buying the 2 rooms, the 3 rooms, you don't get to see the development next door as well. Okay, so I'm going to go into the floor plans for the 2+ study. Okay, so it's 1432 square feet. So facing towards the south direction. Now, the plan is very nice because why? All the units now, let's start with the private lift. So it has a private lift when you come up. Okay, you can see this is the living area. And you can see, how come there's another jagged out design? Yes, I think the developer deliberately create this so that there's space for people to walk, right? Because by right, a normal layout is just like a a rectangle, but this time out there's an additional space out. So it's not taking into the unit's size, but it's actually an extra, right? So it's again to show its uniqueness, and its modern design. And you can see the balcony, okay, also again, it has its unique shape. So every alternate levels will have a different balcony layout. So this one you have to check the floor plans. So take note of that. Okay, this development is not PPVC, so a lot of walls can be actually hacked away. You can redesign it, except for the water closet, except for the toilets. Okay, so the toilets cannot. The toilets are prefabricated, but the rest of the walls, yes, you can actually make amendments. Okay, so from the private lift, you can see into the kitchen, the 2 rooms, there is a standing fridge, oven, dishwasher, and a cooker hood hub, which is city gas. It also comes with a yard. Okay, so the 2+ study also have a yard. So I can say this kitchen it's actually much better than a lot of kitchens that I've seen. So very nice. And behind they still have the 2 refuge, one for general waste, one for recycling. So they actually want to have this green, kind of concept again. I think in some of the developments you do see it already, but it's not how to say, it's not new, but I think this concept wise is still really going to be moving forward. Everybody's going to look at this kind of concept. Okay, recycling and also general waste. And then of course we walk to the bedrooms. You can see that there's a study down here. So for those who want a bigger master, of course, this one you can make a request. Okay, this one we'll double check the developer, whether can we request, can we any additional cost. That one we'll get back to you on this. But in general, these walls can be taken out. Okay, if not, it can be kept as a study itself. Okay, there's also like a walk-in kind of a wardrobe, an L-shaped wardrobe, with a standing shower and a bath. Okay, now you can see the floor plan itself. It's all the way up to this boundary. Okay, the ones outside is actually a communal planter. Okay, so what kind of design they want? Because we are living in a park, right? So the developer wants every unit to be able to see greenery. Okay, so I think this is important. They want every unit to be able to experience nature. And in order to do so, they build communal planter, which is not part of your floor plan, not part of your strata. Okay, it's outside the development, which is maintained by the MCST every quarter. Okay, they will ensure that the nature will not pass the eye line. Okay, so you'll be still able to get to see the nice views, and yet you'll be able to see nature. So all this is not accessible by the client. This is only a common area. Okay, so this is where your master room is. You'll be able to look out to nature. Okay, when you're lying down, when you stand up, you'll be able to see the views that you want to see. Okay, so this is how it looks like. And also even the other part of it, again, these are all the aesthetic designs. So it's like wrapped up with nature. Okay, you can see all the common walls, as mentioned, all the boundary walls, there isn't any units that are, beside, right? Because there's no common walls. They're all big, large floor plates by itself, or only 3 stacks. Okay, this makes it really, really amazing. Okay, so this is the 2+ study. So 2+ study views are like this. I take this from Google Earth. Okay, so we try to fly a drone as soon as we can. We need to get approval. We need to check developer. But this is from Google Earth, or you guys can also make use of it. So this is the 2-bedroom facing, overlooking One Tree Hill. Okay, Clifton, Colonnade. This is Singapore's most expensive per square foot ever in history, at 6,000 over per square foot. Of course, you guys know is the mark. Okay, so I think, as mentioned, today we are just the beginning. We are, as mentioned, we're talking about 2, 3, 4, 5,000, where countries are already passing 10 over 1,000. You never know. We may see a new benchmark when the wealthy comes into Singapore. Okay, so this is how it looks like again from the exterior. So the south facing, overlooking the greens, the One Tree Hill is down here. Okay, short walk to MRT down here is only like 200 meters. 200 meters to the MRT Orchard Boulevard. And this stack itself, it's the 4 rooms which faces Orchard Boulevard. Okay, so this is the one 4 bedrooms that's facing Orchard Road itself. Okay, so for the 3 bedrooms, facing more towards the Botanic Garden side, the what do you call it, Bukit Timah Hill. Okay, sizes are 2207 square feet, so it's more than 2,000 square feet for a 3+ study. Okay, similarly, again, private lifts. I'll highlight the important ones. Private lifts, you come up, you turn left, it can go into the kitchen, whereby your helpers, can actually make use of this entrance, and then they not disturb the privacy of this living itself. So the helper can go in from the left, okay, or can take the common lift. Okay, and when you turn right, it will be the living dining area. Again, you can see a lot of walkway space in the living area, and you get a very big dry kitchen. Okay, you can see you have your fridge, you have your dishwasher again, your cooker hood hub. You also have your, let me just zoom in a little bit. I think that's the chiller. Let me just double check. Yes, that's your wine chiller and oven. Okay, you do get a store. If you want a storeroom, there's a WC here as well. Okay, so a very big size kitchen. You want to make it closed concept, you want to make it open concept, also not a problem. Okay, so washer dryer is down here. So separate washer dryer. Again, the refuge, the waste system, your waste is down here. It's pneumatic waste system. Okay, so of course the 3 bedrooms are ensuite. So third bedroom ensuite, second bedroom also ensuite. Okay, and then you have a humongous, I just want to make this like a walk-in wardrobe. But by right, there's a study down here. Again, you want to make it a wardrobe, no problem. So you either get a study, a wardrobe, and then you have your his and her sink, and you get a bathtub. Okay, for the 3+ study onwards, you get a bathtub. A master room, again, yeah, very nice. One additional, balcony pot down here only for the 3 and the 4. Okay, the 2 rooms, it's there isn't. Okay, so only the 3 and 4, you get extra, I don't know, personal pot down here whereby you can, enjoy. So again, these are the communal planter. Okay, so from the bedrooms, you can be able to see nature and also the views for all the bedrooms. The 3, the 2, the master, you'll be able to see the greens. Okay, so this is how the design looks like. Okay, again, I can see no common walls. Okay, this is the view for the 3 bedrooms. Okay, overlooking region, overlooking the Tanglin area. Okay, this is the Botanic Gardens. Okay, Bukit Timah Hill. Okay, you have a very near embassies. Okay, so for those who are familiar with this area, I mean, you guys know where it faces. Okay, this is Hana itself. Okay, for the 4 bedrooms. Okay, 4 bedrooms. Let me go to the important ones. Private lift, you come out. Okay, a very big living dining. Okay, you have again a dry and a wet kitchen. So the kitchen itself, let me zoom in. I know it's a bit small. Let me just double check my slide as well. Okay, and the kitchen area, you do have a chiller down here, a wine chiller. Okay, you have an oven. You also have the steam oven. Okay, you have a 2-door integrated fridge. Okay, 2-door integrated fridge. Okay, you have some windows in the kitchen area. You have a kitchen windows at the wet kitchen as well. Okay, you have a cooker hood hub and also a dishwasher. So this is where the kitchen is going to be very big. So for those who want again an enclosed kitchen, you can close it up. If you want an open, you can actually take down this wall as well. Okay, so the 4th bedroom, it's all the way to the left. Okay, it's ensuite, and you get to see again it's wrapped around some greeneries. Okay, and the other 3 bedrooms will be on the right side. Okay, whereby there's ensuite again. All bedrooms are ensuite. So the 3rd bedroom ensuite, 2nd bedroom ensuite. And the master, this is a very big walk-in wardrobe. Right? You can have your own, your own stuff down here. Okay, so it's a very big wardrobe. Again, his and her sink, and also the bathtub, and you can get to enjoy nature as well, right? So they try to have nature even at the bathtub areas, at the master room with a own personal balcony pot, again with greeneries at all bedrooms. So all the bedrooms, they really want the clients, the buyers, to enjoy the greenery together, with the city living. So this is how it looks like. I know it isn't the best form of representation, but I can only get it from Google Earth. We are waiting for the nicer views, but it will be an unblocked view of the boulevard. A lot of greens, passing 4 seasons all the way to Orchard Island, right? So there will be Boulevard 88 down here, okay, and a 4 Seasons Hotel, 4 Seasons Park. So this boulevard itself is like a big landscape of greens, a very wide Broadway where you can actually just look at all the greens from here. Okay, so this is how it will look like for the 4 bedrooms. So this is the show flat. Our show flat, we have the 3+ study and also the 4 bedrooms. Okay, so this is the 4 bedroom kind of facing. Okay, so it's they fill up with a lot of glass. Okay, they don't want anything to be blocked down here, so they want to give you the best views of Orchard. So this is just another view of the 4 bedroom itself. You can see you don't really notice the shape of the glass right now, because from the floor plan you see that jagged out glass. But the thing is this: when you walk around this dining area, it gives you more space. You won't crash into this glass down here. Okay, so this is how it will look like. Okay, so there will be marble floorings. Okay, for the living and timber, engineered timber for all the bedrooms. Okay, for master bathrooms, it's all cladded with marble as well. So this is another view from the balcony. So you can see the balcony itself is unique because, you know, sometimes in Singapore, you know, they don't go out the balconies because maybe it's just like a normal looking balcony. But this balcony, very nicely designed. Okay, you can see, so you can actually enjoy, you know, the balcony space itself. Yeah, very nice balconies. Okay, and also just to update you guys, the development itself, the finishes in terms of the cabinetry and also the kitchen is actually by 𝗏𝗍𝗄𝐿. Okay, so they're basically an Italian company, so it's all imported wardrobes and also kitchen appliances. They also have a lot of collaborations with the different designers in the past. Okay, so it's a very high-end Italian furnishing company. Okay, it's by 𝗏𝗍𝗄𝐿 and Dana. It's actually one of the first residential project that actually fitted with all these wardrobes by 𝗏𝗍𝗄𝐿, kitchens, you know, by Dada. So this is how it looks like. Okay, this is the 4-bedroom dry kitchen. So it's very spacious, lots of lights coming in. So this is the dry kitchen, and of course behind there will be the wet kitchen. Okay, so in terms of all the kitchen cabinetry, so I just pull out one of their quotes from the director. So it says, you know, I go to the detail. They say that, you know, basically bringing life to the kitchen, okay, making it more personal and detailed. Okay, more and more, you know, they focus on the finer details that bring value to the kitchen. Okay, such as the small trays, you know, putting things together, you know, and making luxury pop. Okay, so again, they go into the finer details in terms of the kitchen. Okay, most of all the appliances actually come from 𝗵𝗡. So all the units will have a cooker hood hub. Okay, the fridge, okay, it depends on the units. The 4 bedrooms are integrated fridge. The 2 rooms and the 3 rooms, I think they're standalone. So let's double check the floor plan again. But they're all from 𝗵𝗡. They have an oven and dishwasher. So all the units will come with these provisions. But for the 3 and the 4, they will have the extra wine chiller. Okay, and the 4, only the 4, you have the extra steam oven and a coffee maker. I think a coffee maker is very expensive. I think I wanted to help a client take a look. I think it's like 10,000. One coffee maker, I think, can drink how many hundreds of coffee. Okay, so around quite an expensive coffee maker. So the bath, master bath again, comes with bathtub, fully cladded with marble. You know, you have a very big art piece, like a big piece of marble down here. His and her sink. So of course, the sanitary fittings are by 𝗏𝗏 and the taps are by Vola. Okay, so a little bit of bronze down here, you know, all cladded with marble. All this will be provided. And if you want to know how it looks like from the living area, you can see outside the window. These are the common areas where you get some greens. Okay, so you do get to see nature itself. Okay, so if it's too high, you know, the developer said MCSC can help you trim it. Right? So okay, all these are all nature at its best. Okay, so this is how it looks like for at the master area. So you can see some plants down here. Yeah, this is outside your development. So it will be maintained every quarterly by the MCST. So the wardrobes will all be from 𝗏𝗍𝗄𝐿. Okay, so all imported Italian wardrobes. Okay, so this is how it looks like. I think it's very, very classy. Because these are some of the photos that we have. Okay, so currently, just to update you guys on the progressive payment stage. The foundation. Okay, the foundation will probably be, let me just see, where's the foundation? Foundation will be 3rd quarter this year. Okay, so foundation will be 3rd quarter this year. They already started, you know, some works already, so you can take a look. The show flat data I'm going to share with you is just right across the site. Okay, so it's just diagonally across. Now, maintenance fee on average, 2 plus study will be $2,000 per month. 3 bedrooms, $3,000, and 4 bedrooms around $3,500 per month. This is the maintenance fee. Now, what's the price range? I think everybody's coming to us for price. You know, for us, we don't know the price, okay, because we're waiting for a tighter range. Because I think whatever we say also wrong, right? We say too high, we set wrong expectation. We say too low, later we get into trouble. But I think we can always benchmark with the recent transactions. I think with the recent sale of Eden, okay, you guys know Eden actually sold for $4,008 per square foot. So I think we can take this as a very good reference of $4,008 per square foot. If you're lucky, it's still, you know, within the 4,000 XX, you know, per square foot. But of course, I think for the higher floors and even penthouses, it might cross 5,000 per square foot. So that's why there's going to be a big range. Okay, so when we always text developer, you know, we also, you know, the same as you want to know the price. So when the text developer say, hey, you know, can you let me know the price range? You know, what kind of price will it be? they only reply me one word. They just reply me, it won't be cheap. I say, okay, I also know it won't be cheap. Okay, so anyway, that's the joke we have. But the thing is this, in all, honesty and sincerity, we want to let you know it won't be cheap. Okay, yes, it'll be probably 4.8 and above. Okay, so this is the pricing levels that your client should be, aware. And I think what Anson said is also correct. I think this category of clients, sometimes it's not about the price. Okay, and when we do our presentation, we cannot say whether it's cheap, or we cannot say whether it's expensive. Who are we to say expensive or cheap? We just present the product as it is. We convey the story, and if they like it, I think they will definitely, buy it. Okay, so based on previous experiences in the CCR, the big units will fly off the shelf first, and it usually starts from the high floors. Okay, so I'm going to set you guys what people are looking for. Usually will be the big units, high floor first. Okay, so basically from Avenue Boulevard 88, you can see all the 4 bedrooms. The big units will fly off the shelf first. Okay, so this is where the demand usually lies for the CCR.